Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. It is a cold morning, but it is a dry morning, which I will take because on the forecast for this week, it is forecasted to rain almost every day. I think there's one day later on this week where it's supposed to be a little bit dry. So I'm kind of getting antsy here. I'm kind of getting nervous. I have so much gardening stuff I need to do. It was a very hectic holiday season for us. We just had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things to do. And so a lot of my gardening tasks that I had planned to do in December just got pushed. I just didn't even pay attention to it. And probably the biggest thing was planting my cut flower garden for one thing, getting that all prepared. My cut flower garden at home, it's right here. The other thing is I haven't planted any of my anemones or my ranunculus, and I haven't planted any of my tulips, literally not one. So here in zone 9B, we can plant tulips up until the second week of January. And so it's obviously the first week of January. So I'm totally fine, but I gotta get them in. It's time. So here's my cut flower garden right here. And you guys can see there has been literally zero progress on this thing. I feel bad. I'm getting to it. It's just everything's taken a lot longer, especially with the weather, and then so what I'm going to do, here's a line level that I have right here. That's one thing I did. You can see that there's the little bubble thing right there. So what I was doing is I was measuring to see what the rise was right here. So this point compared to that point. Because what my plan is for here is, you guys can see the soil is very, very built up, and that's because I turned over and amended all the soil here, and once I loosened it all up, I have so much more soil here than I can deal with. It's like, I know you really can't tell on the phone on video, but it's literally like a mound of soil. So my solution for that, and I had been thinking about this anyway because I feel like it would be a lot easier, is that I am going to build terraced raised beds right here. And it's going to be a really easy build. I'm not worried about it at all. Honestly, the hardest thing about this build is getting the materials to my house, because what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to do 10-foot 2x6s this way and this way and this way, and my car only holds 8-foot boards. So I have to figure out how I'm going to get them to my house. I think Lowe's will deliver. Home Depot won't deliver 2x6s for some reason. I don't know. I'm not sure why. So anyways, this is going to get pushed back until next week, until after the rainstorm, simply because of getting materials and all that kind of stuff. So what my plan was originally was to plant tulips and daffodils and ranunculus and anemones in my cut flower bed and use them for cut flowers. And that was my plan. And so I have pre-chilled tulips, I have a bunch of daffodils, and then I have pre-sprouted anemones and ranunculus in my garage, and they have been sitting here, gosh, I want to say like 6 weeks. I am torturing these poor things. I feel so bad. I need to get these guys out. They're obviously thriving, right? They're growing and they're all labeled. These are actually my last year's ranunculus, if you can believe it. These are my apple blossom mix ranunculus. These are rainbow pastel mix. What are these? Oh, these are my, are these anemones? Yeah, rainbow pastel anemones. And then these are the white with the black eye anemones. These are my last year's anemones, and you can see nothing pre-sprouted, nothing. So don't know what's up with that. And then I can't see what's there. We're getting rid of my daughter's bed. We're giving it away for free on Craigslist, and that's why it's sitting in here. She got a new bed for Christmas. So we are also redoing the garage. I shouldn't even say anything yet because we're working on it, and I'm going to do a whole video on it. But for my birthday, Jason gifted me with organizing the garage and organizing all my gardening stuff. And so this is a total work in progress. We actually cleaned it out a lot. It looks a lot better than it did. But the whole plan is to have slat boards. I think that's what you call it. It's like white slat boards to put there. And then all of my gardening stuff can go up on that wall and it'll be nice and clean. That's the goal. Anyway, so this is all, this is a good representation of my life right now because this is kind of what's going on. So I pulled out some tulips. This is the Amore mix Aren't those pretty? They're kind of like a purplish color mix. And then I have some apricot tulips that I saved from last year. I have some more tulips in my fridge that I've been pre-chilling, because here in zone 9B, you do need to pre-chill your tulips. You cannot just plant them out because we just don't get enough chill time. So you see, I still have a bunch of tulips here, and I haven't even been to my flower field, my big flower field, to plant some. So yeah, I have a lot to do. And so any nice clear day, I'm just going to be out here and I'm going to be trying to catch up with all my gardening fun. So since my cut flower garden is unavailable right now because I'm still going to be working on it, I'm still going to be doing the structure of it, I kept thinking that I would wait to plant all my bulbs and my corms until this was done. But this is just taking me a little bit too long. Like, I meant to do this, early December, and I just never got around to it. So what I've decided is I'm actually just going to plant everything in my garden. Just in the other spots of my garden, I have a ton of blank spots because it's winter and there's not a lot of things growing right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around here, find little patches of openness, and plant some of these bulbs. All right, I think that is going to be it for today. It is about 2 o'clock, and the reason why I am wrapping it up is because we just got word that a tree person is coming to look at our birch tree today at 2 o'clock. So they could be here any minute. So I wanted to kind of wrap this all up, wrap all the filming up before they got here. I am so excited to hear what they have to say about that birch tree. We're deciding whether or not we should remove it, if it's healthy or if it is diseased. I really kind of do think it's diseased. Anytime anyone's driving by right now, I'm thinking it's the tree person. So I didn't get anywhere near as much stuff done as I wanted to get done today. Story of my life. And I mean, it is still winter break for my kids, and their friends are over and they're playing, and I'm kind of going in and out. So I can't be too hard on myself because it's kind of like I'm doing double duty right now. So that's okay. But I did get a lot of stuff done. So I did get 100 tulips planted. They're the Amore mix from Longfield Gardens. I got it from Costco, which is fantastic. I love getting bulbs from Costco. The only problem is you have to be on it. I feel like my Costco sells out of bulbs in like 3 days once they get them in stock. So when it's around the time when you can start buying bulbs from Costco, I end up going to Costco like every other day just to check and see if they have them in stock or not. This time I was actually there the day they got them in stock, so I had a really good selection. So I really love this Amore like lavender purpley mix. I planted 100 of those. I already told you guys that. And then I planted another 50 of the apple blossom ranunculus, and then another 50 of the rainbow pastel anemones. So I think it's going to be really pretty. I think it's going to be a really pretty color mix. Let me show you guys where I planted all of them. Okay, so I started over here by my Oklahoma redbud tree. The redbud does not look like much right now, but that is okay. It will flush out beautifully and it will have these gorgeous blooms in the spring. And I don't know when this tree blooms in the spring as compared to tulips and ranunculus and anemones, but I'll be really interested to see if it blooms at the same time, because won't that be gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. But that's okay. If it doesn't, you know, no big deal, because it still has this amazing vertical interest that I'm really excited about. And then I still have all this space under here that I can play with. So my garden is so small that every square inch I take advantage of it and I treasure it. So by taking out that monster vertigo pennisetum that I used to have here and putting in this more, you know, lollipop shaped tree, I gained so much space. So really, really excited about that. This is the first time that I've really planted underneath the tree. So that's why I'm enjoying the space. So what I did back here is I planted 50 of the Amore tulips. I think that should be beautiful. And then right here, I planted the apple blossom ranunculus. And right here, 1, 2, 3, these are Homestead verbena, absolutely gorgeous, beautiful purple color. And I think they should be blooming at the same time as everything else. So we'll see, we'll see how things end up blooming, but this has the potential to be absolutely gorgeous. So I'm very excited about it. So then over here, I planted another 25 of the Amore tulips, all kind of throughout here around the sparkling rosé verbena, the daisy May Shasta daisies, and then the pansies, the blue pansies that I have right here. I think that should be really, really pretty. I am nervous about this area though. And the reason why I'm nervous is because as I was auging holes right here, I started pulling up all these gladioli bulbs, corms, whatever. They're huge. They're absolutely huge. These are the ones that are from my dollar store gladioli that I had planted here a couple years ago. They're absolutely beautiful. They're this bubblegum pink color. I love them. I decided not to have them anymore because gladiolas, the leaves, I don't really like it. It's very, very messy. It doesn't look neat. And this is just kind of like front and center of everything for something to not look very neat. So I decided to pull them out. I thought I got all the bulbs. Nowhere near did I get all the bulbs. And there's all these like baby bulbs that have generated. And so I kind of have a feeling I'm going to be pulling the leaves for years and years and years. So I'm just worried that I'm not going to be able to tell the difference between the tulip foliage and the gladioli foliage. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to have to be really careful with that. Then coming down over here, I did another 25 of the tulips kind of all the way around here, which I think is going to be beautiful. So pretty. And then right here in this area, I planted the 50, what were they? Rainbow pastel. What did I say? I'm blanking. I'm pretty sure it was rainbow pastel anemones. I'm a little bit worried about these too because it is winter. That's south that way. So the sun doesn't get very high up in the sky. So not only does the house block it, but this breath of heaven shrub right here blocks it as well. So that makes it kind of hard. I kind of feel like I'm going to have like part sun in this area. I think it'll be enough for them to bloom. I'm just wondering how vigorous the blooming is actually going to be with them being planted right in this spot, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. So then let me come over here and show you guys the tree. I know I've showed this to you before. This is my poor birch tree. This is one of them. I have two, one on the inside of the fence and one on the outside of the fence. This one looks totally fine. I think I'm going to ask the tree person and see what they say. This is the one I'm worried about. I've talked about this before. This limb right here a couple years ago, it just fell off. Like it wasn't even windy. It wasn't storming. It was totally fine. And it just absolutely fell off. We actually had a tree person come by and take a look at the tree at that time. And that tree guy said that it was fine, that the tree was totally fine. There was nothing to worry about. And then told us to look out for things like the limbs dying at the end, like no leaves at the end of the limbs for a birch tree. But he told us it was fine. We could totally leave it. Now I'm out here all the time gardening and stuff like that. And so, I'm constantly looking at this tree. I see the limbs dead at the end. I can see that they don't have leaves at the end, you know, and I don't know if it just kind of degraded as time went on after he had already seen it, or if I just notice it more because I'm out here all the time. But I definitely notice it. So it was kind of, you know, I told Jason and we said that we would talk to another tree guy at another time, you know, and I think that now's the time. So that person, guy or girl, I don't know which, they should be here any minute, and then I can show them the tree, and then we can kind of decide what to do. Now, just to update you guys on our plans, so I am in a garden tour in May, and there's going to be minimum 600 people. There could be even more than that. So what they said for the garden tour is I had to have one entrance point to my backyard and one exit point to my backyard, because there's going to be so many people in such a short amount of time. So this is going to be my exit point, and we have to do something because people will fall on these horrible rocks. I hate these rocks. It's so uncomfortable. You can't store anything and you really can't walk on it very well. So we either have to put like a stepping stone pathway or, you know, something in here. And I was going to do it kind of like meandering around the tree, but then I was worried about the tree, people bonking their heads on the tree. So long story short, Jason and I are deciding what to do. Once the tree guy comes, if the tree person says this tree can go, our plan is to concrete in this whole area, which I am actually stoked about. I am so excited. If the tree does end up going and we can actually concrete in this area, I will be so excited because I will have so much room. This will be like usable space that I don't have. These rocks here make this area so unusable. I don't want to come back here. Nobody wants to come back here. The kids don't come back here to play. Like, it's just kind of like a wasted space on our yard because of it's just hard to walk. And I know that seems like something that shouldn't really stop you from coming and using such a big area on your property, but it does. It actually does stop me from coming over here and using it. So I think if we could concrete in this space, I will have so much more usable square footage for like a potting bench and storage and I don't know what. I don't even know. There's so many things that we could do. And I was going back and forth on whether I would landscape this area up and make it look really pretty. I really need storage. Like my house is so small, you guys. There's just nothing. There's no place to store anything. So we all need that spot in our home where we can just kind of throw things. And this is our spot for that, as you can see right behind me. So I really, really need more storage. And so I think that if we can concrete the space in, it will be absolutely the most useful thing that we could possibly do. And then I don't have to spend money on having a stepping stone pathway that I don't even really want. That's kind of not even necessary. So it all is depending on what this tree guy is going to say. This is a charger for my phone because, you know, I never charge my phone. I forget to charge my phone. All right, so I am going to go ahead and sign off on this video just because I don't want to be filming when the tree person comes and I don't want to film them without their permission. But I will let you all know tomorrow's video what they say about the birch tree and what the plan is, whether we're going to remove it or whether we're going to leave it in. So I feel like I got enough done today to feel like I got something accomplished. I still need to plant more bulbs. I still have more things I need to do, but that is okay. I'm not in a rush. I'm not going to beat myself up because I didn't get it done over the holidays. Of course I didn't get it done over the holidays, and it's still winter break for my kids. So there's only so much we all can do in a day. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get into your garden today.